If you're over 60 and want to keep your memory sharp, some of the foods you're eating might actually be more harmful than helpful to your brain health. Today, I'm going to share the top 6 foods to avoid, all backed by research. But don't worry, I've also got some great alternatives for you. Stay tuned for those. How can a 90-year-old remember names, birthdays, and events from decades ago, while others face early Alzheimer's? Are you someone who remembers everything, or do you struggle to recall what you had for dinner yesterday? Could the secret to these differences be hidden on your plate? Or maybe there's a simple trick you can add to your daily routine to unlock a super memory. Picture this. Jenny's been feeling a bit forgetful lately. She goes to the kitchen, opens the fridge, and thinks, "What did I come here to get again?" She doesn't know where she left her car keys and keeps asking her husband where she left her phone. Does this sound familiar? Comment below if it happens to you or someone you know. As we age, our brains change. This is normal, but it's also something we'd rather avoid if we could. Guess what? We can actually make a difference by simply watching what we eat. I'm not talking about following some complicated diet plan. I'm talking about avoiding a few common foods that seem to be particularly bad for our brains as we get older. These aren't exotic foods you've never heard of. They're normal, everyday foods that many of us eat without thinking twice. But if you're over 60, you might want to think twice about them. The good news is that avoiding these foods is pretty easy once you know what they are. And there are usually simple substitutes that are just as satisfying. So let's look at what these memory-damaging foods are and what to eat instead. 1. Sugary cereals. We've all seen those commercials claiming cereal is a heart-healthy breakfast option, but many of these cereals have more sugar in one serving than some desserts. And processed sugar is terrible for your memory and brain function. Why is sugar so bad for your brain? It's not just about empty calories. Sugar actually causes inflammation in your brain. This inflammation interferes with your brain's ability to communicate with itself. It's like static on a phone line. The message might get through, but it's garbled. Over time, this inflammation can lead to serious problems. It's been linked to Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. In fact, some researchers have started calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes because of how closely it's linked to sugar consumption and insulin resistance. But it's not just about long-term effects. Sugar can mess with your brain in the short term too. Have you ever noticed how you feel sluggish and unfocused after eating a lot of sugar? That's because sugar causes your blood glucose levels to spike and then crash. Your brain needs a steady supply of glucose to function well, not these wild swings. So what should you eat for breakfast instead? Oatmeal is a great choice. It's full of complex carbohydrates that release energy slowly, keeping your blood sugar stable. Add some fresh fruit for natural sweetness and extra nutrients. Berries are especially good for your brain. They're packed with antioxidants that help protect your brain cells from damage. 2. Diet soda. This one might surprise you. A lot of people think diet soda is a guilt-free drink because it's calorie-free and sugar-free, but it turns out it's actually worse than regular soda when it comes to brain health. The problem with diet soda is that it's packed with artificial sweeteners and chemicals that mimic sugar. These aren't just empty calories, they're actively harmful to your brain. According to the American Heart Association, seniors who drink diet soda daily are 3 times more likely to develop dementia. That's a pretty scary statistic. But why? It seems to be because these artificial sweeteners mess with your body's ability to process real sugar. They make your body expect calories that never arrive, which throws off your metabolism. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, which is bad for your brain. Plus, many artificial sweeteners are neurotoxins. They literally poison your brain cells, not quickly or dramatically, but slowly over time. And remember, your brain cells don't replace themselves the way other cells in your body do. Once they're damaged, that's it. So what should you drink instead? Water is always a good choice, of course, but if you want something with more flavor, try unsweetened iced tea or even homemade fruit juices. If you need a bit of sweetness, a touch of stevia works wonders. Stevia is a natural sweetener that doesn't have the same negative effects as artificial ones. A 2010 study with 19 healthy lean folks and 12 obese participants discovered that stevia can actually lower insulin and glucose levels. Plus, everyone felt satisfied and full after eating, even with fewer calories. 3. Microwave popcorn. This one's tricky because popcorn itself isn't bad for you. In fact, plain popcorn is a whole grain and can be quite healthy. The problem is with microwave popcorn specifically. Microwave popcorn bags are lined with chemicals to keep the oil from soaking through. One of these chemicals is called diacetyl, and it's been linked to the buildup of amyloid plaques in the brain. These are the same kind of plaques that are found in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. Plus, when you microwave the bag, these chemicals can vaporize and you end up inhaling them. It's not just about what you eat, it's about what you breathe while you're preparing your food. So what should you do if you love popcorn? Make it the old-fashioned way on the stovetop. It's actually really easy. Just put some popcorn kernels in a pot with a little oil, put the lid on, and shake it over medium heat until the popping slows down. Add a pinch of salt and maybe a little butter if you like. It tastes better than microwave popcorn anyway, and it's much better for your brain. 4. Whole wheat bread. This one might really surprise you. Isn't whole wheat bread supposed to be healthy? Well, yes and no. It's certainly better than white bread, but it's still not great for your brain, especially as you get older. The problem with whole wheat bread is that it can cause your blood sugar to spike almost as much as white bread does. This leads to the same kind of inflammation we talked about with sugary cereals. Plus, many people have some degree of gluten sensitivity, even if they don't have full-blown celiac disease. And gluten sensitivity can cause inflammation throughout your body, including in your brain. So what should you eat instead? If you can't give up bread entirely, try sprouted grain bread. It's made from whole grains that have been allowed to sprout before being milled into flour. This process breaks down some of the starch in the grain, lowering its glycemic index. That means it won't spike your blood sugar as much. Another option is to use lettuce wraps instead of bread for your sandwiches. It sounds a bit odd at first, but it's actually really refreshing. And it's a great way to sneak some extra vegetables into your diet. 5. Canned tuna. Now, tuna itself is actually good for your brain. It's full of omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for brain health. The problem is with canned tuna specifically, especially the kind that's packed in oil. Canned tuna often contains high levels of mercury. Mercury is a heavy metal that can accumulate in your body over time, and it's particularly harmful to your brain. It can cause memory problems, tremors, and even vision changes. Studies reveal that high mercury exposure can lead to serious health issues, including damage to the central nervous system. Plus, the canning process often involves adding preservatives that can strip away some of the nutrients in the tuna. And if it's packed in oil, that oil is usually not the good kind of oil that your brain needs. So what should you eat instead? If you like tuna, try buying fresh tuna steaks instead of canned. They're higher in nutrients and lower in preservatives. Just be sure not to eat them too often because of the mercury issue. If you do buy canned tuna, look for brands that test for mercury levels and choose light tuna instead of albacore. It tends to be lower in mercury, and always choose tuna packed in water rather than oil. Better yet, try other types of fish that are high in omega-3s but lower in mercury. Salmon is a great choice, as are sardines and mackerel. These smaller fish don't live as long as tuna, so they don't accumulate as much mercury in their bodies. 6. Fried foods. This last one probably won't surprise you. We all know fried foods aren't great for us, but they're particularly bad for your brain as you get older. The problem with fried foods is that they're usually cooked in oils that are high in trans fats. These are the worst kind of fats for your brain. They cause inflammation and can actually damage the membranes of your brain cells. A study involving over 18,000 participants discovered that a diet rich in fried foods is connected to lower memory and cognitive function. Plus, when oils are heated to high temperatures for frying, they can produce compounds called advanced glycation end products. Despite their name, ages aren't good for healthy aging. They've been linked to the development of Alzheimer's disease and other forms of cognitive decline. So what should you eat instead? If you're craving something crispy, try baking or air frying instead of deep frying. You can get a similar texture without all the harmful fats. For example, instead of fried chicken, try baked chicken with a crispy coating made from crushed nuts or seeds. Instead of French fries, try roasted sweet potato wedges. While avoiding harmful foods is important, actively eating foods that support brain health can make a big difference too. Here are some foods that are particularly good for your brain. Berries. Blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries are all packed with antioxidants that help protect your brain cells from damage. They've been shown to improve memory and delay brain aging. Leafy greens. Spinach, kale, and other leafy greens are high in nutrients like vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta-carotene. These nutrients help slow cognitive decline. Nuts. Walnuts, in particular, are great for your brain. They're high in a type of omega-3 fatty acid called alpha-linolenic acid, which helps lower blood pressure. High blood pressure is a risk factor for cognitive decline. Fatty fish. As we mentioned earlier, fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are high in omega-3 fatty acids, which are crucial for brain health. Just be mindful of mercury levels, especially in larger fish. Turmeric. This bright yellow spice contains curcumin, a compound with both anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. It's been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier and may help clear the amyloid plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease. Dark chocolate. Good news for chocolate lovers. Dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or higher, is actually good for your brain. It's high in flavonoids, caffeine, and antioxidants, all of which are good for brain health. Eggs. Eggs are a great source of several nutrients tied to brain health, including vitamins B6 and B12, folate, and choline. Choline is especially important because it's used to create acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood and memory. Remember, a diet that's good for your brain is also good for your heart and the rest of your body. This kind of diet has a name. It's called the Mediterranean diet, and it's been shown in numerous studies to support brain health and reduce the risk of cognitive decline as we age. It's not a strict set of rules, but rather a general approach to eating that emphasizes whole, minimally processed foods. You don't have to completely change your diet overnight. Small changes can make a big difference over time. Maybe start by swapping out your afternoon soda for a cup of green tea, or try having oatmeal with berries for breakfast instead of sugary cereal. Each small change adds up. It's also worth noting that what you eat is just one part of the equation when it comes to brain health. Other factors play a role too. Exercise. Regular physical activity increases blood flow to your brain and has been shown to improve memory and cognitive function. Sleep. Your brain needs adequate sleep to consolidate memories and clear out toxins. Aim for 7 to 9 hours per night. Mental stimulation. Challenging your brain with new activities, like learning a language or playing an instrument, can help keep it sharp. Stress management. Chronic stress can damage your brain over time. Find ways to manage stress, whether it's through meditation, yoga, or just taking time to relax. Social connections. Staying socially active has been linked to better cognitive function as we age. Remember, it's never too late to start taking care of your brain. Even if you've been eating a less than ideal diet for years, making changes now can still have a positive impact. Your brain is constantly changing and adapting, and it's remarkably responsive to the way you treat it. By avoiding foods that can damage your brain and focusing on those that support it, you're giving yourself the best chance at maintaining a sharp memory and clear thinking as you age. So next time you're at the grocery store or sitting down to a meal, think about what you're feeding your brain. Making the right choices now can pay off in better cognitive health for years to come. When your brain is working well, you're better able to learn new things, solve problems, and enjoy life. You're more present in your relationships and more engaged with the world around you. In other words, a healthy brain doesn't just add years to your life, it adds life to your years. If this video helped you out, why not give it a quick like and share it around? It could really help someone else looking after their memory health. Which of these brain-harmful foods do you consume daily? Are you considering removing them from your diet? Drop a comment and let's chat about it. If you want to stay in the loop with more health tips, just hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We release new videos every week. Your likes and comments really keep us going. They show us what you want to see more of. And before you go, check out these 2 videos we selected specially for you. I think you'll love them. Have an awesome and happy day, and remember to take care of your brain. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.